Happy holidays, everybody, and Tony here with a tribute to a Christmas special from a superhero cartoon I've been loving, adoring, and admiring ever since I was a little boy. I'm talking about Christmas with the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, which aired on Fox Kids on November 13, 1992. This was directed by Kent Butterworth and was written by Eddie Gordetsky. I have been loving the Cape Crusader ever since I was a little boy, and ever since then, I have been admiring the lore that was surrounding Gotham. My first experience with Batman was when I was watching the 1960s cartoon, and while it was enjoyable and got me into the world of Batman, the 90s animated version, Batman the Animated Series, really got me suckered into Gotham's foreboding, dark, haunting, and crime-strewn world where criminals run rampant and Batman dons his dark cape in order to give them a good beating. Furthermore, it's also gotten me to be acquainted with the very terrifying Joker, as well as certain villains that had a lot more dimension than the 1960s version had to offer, let alone the live-action version starring Adam West. What Batman the Animated Series had to offer aside from psychopaths like Joker were extremely ambiguous villains such as Mr. Freeze, who even though was designated as a villain, is actually an anti-villain as he wanted to use some type of technology in order to revive his wife. And let's also not forget about the tragic case that is Baby Doll, real name Mary Doll, who had a very rare condition which stopped her from growing up and therefore stunted her growth, thus making her be a perennial child. On top of that, Batman the Animated Series also had its fair share of both scary as well as sad episodes, and episodes that made me feel for each of the characters. On a stylistic level, we also have Danny Elfman's epic score with its unforgettably sweeping melodies and wonderful orchestration, which helped me get into Gotham's frightening yet fascinating world. Ergo, I can decree that Batman the Animated Series was the best version of the Cape Crusader I have watched ever since I was a kid, and it's that same sentiment that I hold to this very day as a grown-up. Whether it be live action or animated, Batman the Animated Series to me was unbeatable back then, and it is unbeatable to this very day. And going to Christmas with the Joker, I knew this was not going to be like any other Christmas special. That means there was no Santa Claus, nor were there any messages of perpetual hope or perpetual faith, or even the common values we associate with Christmas. This one was thrilling, chilling, and exciting to the bone. This Christmas episode starts off in Arkham Asylum, where all the inmates are celebrating Christmas. Even though Joker appears to be initially singing alongside the choristers, he ends up breaking into his own version of Jingle Bells, where he climbs atop the Christmas tree, supposedly to place on the Christmas star, which was not a Christmas star at all, but rather a golden cylindrical helmet. And once he flicks the switch, climbs on top of the tree, and puts on that helmet, he laughs as he blasts off, escaping from Arkham Asylum, and he is just so gleeful getting out of that prison in order to get even with Batman. Cut to Batman and Robin, who are patrolling Gotham, trying to see if there's any crime sprawling around that said city. At first, Batman thought he was going to spot a pickpocket. Unfortunately for Batman, it turned out to be some guy who ended up reminding an old lady that she dropped her present, and the old lady reminds the man that that dropped present was for her grandchild, and she gives them a kiss, which was the only sweet moment of this particular Christmas episode, as the rest will be absolutely glorious insanity courtesy of the Joker. And speaking of the Joker, Just as Bruce and Dick tune into It's a Wonderful Life, their regular programming ends up being interrupted by none other than the Joker, who hosts his own program, Christmas with the Joker. And you wouldn't believe who he has as his hostages or his family that he coined in as the Awful Lawful Family. He has Commissioner Gordon, reporter Summer Gleason, and Detective Lieutenant Harvey Bullock. Since he's held these three for ransom, he gives Batman and Robin until 12 midnight to rescue them, otherwise they're gonna be killed. So we get Bruce and Dick suiting up as Batman and Robin respectively as they head for the Joker. Batman is fully aware that the Joker is not an easy villain to deal with, as he had traps set up for them, ranging from a broken bridge in which an oncoming train was about to crash, to a huge jack-in-the-box in which Joker's head welcomes Batman to his show. Speaking of the Joker's show, its headquarters is at the Laughco Toy Factory, where we also get my most favorite scene of this particular Christmas episode, and that is Batman and Robin battling the giant toy soldiers as the Joker plays the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. At first, it plays at its normal score, but once the battle intensifies, especially thanks to Danny Elfman's wonderfully stirring composition and how he managed to remix this iconic ballet music into something that's more haunting, the music swells up into a more deranged version of the Nutcracker Suite. More specifically, the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, as well as the trepak. And every time I listened to this twisted version of the trepak, it reminds me of this being the love child between the trepak and In the Hall of the Mountain King, which made my listening and viewing experience all the more glorious. Even the Joker's henchmen, Blitzen and Donner, could not even outsmart Batman, as they ended up being defeated by a giant teddy bear, pushed by courtesy of Batman. Batman and Robin soon find Commissioner Gordon, Summer Gleason, and Lieutenant Harvey Bullock all tied up, about to be drenched in a vat full of lava unless Batman rescues them. Joker then has a surprise for Batman as he gives a Christmas gift to him, which turns out to be a cream pie in the face, thus sending Joker into a hysterical fit of laughter that I found both funny but in a very uncomfortable way, given just how much he laughed at Batman falling for that particular trick. Batman rescues Commissioner Gordon, Summer Gleason, and Lieutenant Harvey Bullock. He hands them over to Robin to take care of them as he remains in hot pursuit of the Joker. Just as the Joker thought that he could get away from Batman's grasp, he ends up tripping on a roller skate, which almost makes him fall into that vat of lava. And luckily for him, at least Batman saves him, with Batman kind of trolling him and saying, "Merry Christmas, Joker," and with Joker uttering a defeated "Bah humbug." The episode ends with Bruce and Dick catching It's a Wonderful Life by courtesy of Commissioner Gordon's copy of that very movie. But not until we get one more disturbing shot of the Joker singing Deck the Halls and laughing, yelling, and ranting in his padded cell like the absolute maniac he was, thus ending this particular Christmas episode of Batman the Animated Series in a very disturbing manner. And boy, was it a gloriously disturbing ending it was, especially to see Joker in his padded cell singing and ranting and yelling "Deck the Halls" with such maniacal glee. So this ain't your grandma's Christmas special, ladies and gentlemen. You won't find any warmth. You won't find any warm feelings coming into your system, and you won't feel too fuzzy. Oh no. This one will keep you on the edge of your seat, and this one will make you feel like you've been on the most intense roller coaster ride and you want to go again. That's what I managed to obtain from Christmas with the Joker. It was gloriously insane. It managed to be thrilling to the bone, and it kept me wanting more of what was going to happen in the next sequence. That was just how epic Christmas with the Joker was. You won't find any goodwill towards men, but that doesn't make it a bad thing. And that's all you can ever ask for if you are a hardcore fan of Batman. Not only did this Christmas special, as well as the entire show, have exceptional animation, which took advantage of the darkness being used to heighten the overall foreboding nature of Gotham, as well as give the villains a more intimidating presence, and of course give Batman his strikingly haunting yet powerful presence, which he strikes upon each and every villain. But it's also attributed to the voice actors. Not only did you have the likes of Kevin Conroy's absolutely stirring and strong portrayal of Batman, and Lauren Lester's wonderfully charming portrayal of Robin make a great impression on me as someone who is a major fan of Batman the Animated Series. But I would be totally remiss if I did not utter the name of the voice actor who voiced Joker in all of his maniacal glee. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the great Mark Hamill. Whenever I think of any animated incarnation of the Joker, I could never ever go wrong with Mark Hamill. Sure, there was Kevin Michael Richardson who did the voice of the Joker in The Batman. Sure, there was also John DiMaggio who did his own impersonation of the Joker in some of the films. However, Mark Hamill was irreplaceable in this iconic villain role. We all knew Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker from his Star Wars years. However, the role of the Joker was what put his fantastic acting chops to phenomenal use. That oozing sleaze that he was able to produce with every venomous line that he spat, which felt like poisonous darts running into one's skin. The maniacal glee that he was able to exude from each and every pore, as well as his iconically maniacal laugh, which left me with goosebumps and with a huge grin on my face every time Mark Hamill embodied this iconically devious clown. To say that every moment with Mark Hamill's Joker is exciting is a mere understatement. Every moment with Mark Hamill as the Joker is chilling, thrilling, and like a roller coaster that I want to ride over and over again. That is just how epic Mark Hamill was as the Joker, and he stole the show from Kevin Conroy's and Lauren Lester's feet. That was just how much Mark Hamill was able to make Christmas with the Joker a million times more epic and a million times more brilliant. And I salute him with everything I got in my heart, in my mind, and in my soul. So if you are hankering for a thrilling Christmas episode, Christmas with the Joker is the one for you. If you want thrills and if you want chills, and if you love the feeling of having goose pimples crawling up your skin, then I highly recommend Christmas with the Joker for you. You will definitely be in absolute elation from the thrilling ride you experienced courtesy of this Christmas episode. And for those of you who caught Christmas with the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, what'd you think of it? Did you really feel that the Joker stole the show from everyone's feet? And in turn, did you also love Mark Hamill's portrayal of this iconic villain? What was your most favorite moment of Christmas with the Joker? And moreover, did you also feel that this one was the one that stuck with you ever since you were a kid? And did it also stick with you now as a grown-up? Or did you feel like there was something wrong with Christmas with the Joker? Comment below and let me know. Well, that's it for my tribute to Christmas with the Joker from Batman the Animated Series. tune in much later for my tribute to Holiday Nights from the New Adventures of Batman. So until then, happy holidays, everybody!